Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's great to have you here. Let me know who you are and where you're from and drop a comment in the comments box below. Now, today's topic is about communication, and one of the things I read recently in the Harvard Business Review said that 69% of leaders are uncomfortable with communicating with their teams. And it got me thinking, over the last few months, we've seen some pretty shining examples of great communication and authenticity, and we've also seen some shocking examples. And one of those shining examples is someone who's globally recognized as being a great leader. There's people are always going to be polarized by someone, but Jacinta Ardern is recognized as having great leadership style. She's transparent, she communicates well, and she keeps her people informed. So yes, there are people that aren't massive fans of hers in New Zealand. I'm a Kiwi and I've been here in Australia for 16 years, but perhaps I'm a little bit biased based on the world stage that she's been on, because she is recognised by people right around the world as being a great leader. And certainly 87%, in a recent poll, 87% of Kiwis also recognise that she's handled the crisis, which has massive effect on their economy, really well. So 87% of people have voted in favour for the support of her management and her government's management of the crisis, which is great. But not everyone can achieve the kudos that perhaps Jacinta Ardern has. And I kind of try to distill it down to look at what makes her a great leader in terms of that communication. And I think someone who can actually step out and claim their authenticity in front of people is really powerful. And with that, the other day, I was watching a thing on TV, and she was actually in the middle of an earthquake doing a television interview, and she wasn't rattled, but she still showed she was human and was able to handle that situation well. So that's kind of a nice natural thing about her. But one thing that shines out to me with Jacinta's style is that she knows who she is, and that she is comfortable with being authentic. And she has recently also stepped out in clothing like a sweatshirt to do a press conference. Now, we know here in Australia that some of our female pollies have been picked apart for every single little thing that they've worn: the sound of their voice, the look of their hair, the clothes that they wear. And for what reason? Is it because that it's so over-rehearsed and so precisely controlled by their media people that they actually don't let that person be themselves? So anyway, it kind of got me thinking about what does that look like for leaders in business, and then for us in relationships too. And it's that ability to really truly be ourselves that actually lets things in our lives flow and trust builds. So I just wanted to share with you some things that will help us manage our fear and our resilience around communicating with people, even in really difficult times. And even when we feel the most confident that we have, there are going to be things that we face into that are going to be uncomfortable to deliver. So those three things are, well, the first thing is, and I've done this recently with a few of the interviews that I've been doing, is what is it that you're really afraid of? So I'll let you answer that question for yourself. And yes, it comes back to knowing yourself. So do you truly know yourself, and how comfortable with yourself are you? What's important to you? And then once you've got some of that figured out, whatever it is that you've figured out, take action on it. Begin immediately. So if you've learned something new about yourself, go and apply it. Take action on it. Embed it. It's embedding the learning that actually helps us step into our truth and remember it. So it sounds pretty simple, but it's the doing it and repeating that process that is actually going to be the thing that sets us up for success. Let your people find out a little bit about you. Don't put the walls up around you, and let them see that you're not a robot. Let them see that you actually need help. And when you ask for a little bit of help, it doesn't make you a weak leader. It actually makes you stronger as a person to actually ask for help and to step up into the truth and let people help you. Be open to that. So if anything that I've shared with you today is interesting or useful to you, then feel free to share it with anyone who you might find it would benefit, and feel free to add a comment in the box below, and also I'd love a like there as well. And thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.